2.5 years before Manju came from Mumbai to her hometown Chennai, and she met me to do genetic brain profiling assessment. So at that point of time, I was only into genetic brain profiling, and when she got her report done, she was like so glad to understand her children first more than about herself. Am I right, Manju?
Yes, very true.
Yeah, because at that point in time, she was so focused only on her children, not about herself. She was that all giving mom, not taking anything for herself. And I remember insisting that she had a huge potential as well, right? So later on, she understood the value of GBP and she took it upon herself and she became a franchisee for it in Mumbai. So we had a session in Mumbai for parents. Then she got into my program Inertia, where we do NLP and mindfulness training. And even there, I was able to see her with all that curious eyes to take whatever I was giving. And she did work on herself. And the last 1.5 years have been a tremendous improvement in Manju that I see. And even one-on-one coaching. Every week before we met, she would have done her homework and she'd be waiting for more and more input from me. And now I'm so happy to introduce her to all of you that she is a happiness life coach. So she's done a lot of certifications this lockdown. She's into, you can tell us what are the certifications you finished?
Yeah, I have done emotional intelligence practitioner course, and then I've also done mindfulness based cognitive therapy. I'm also a certified happiness life coach now.
Okay.
And I've done a couple of courses on neuroscience as well.
Okay. So the best thing that I like about any coach for that matter is what I look in a coach is they should have transformed their life before they can even go and tell people that I want to help you, right? So here I have a embodiment that she's already done it for herself, and today's discussion is going to be more about what made her come into this. This is going to be 50-50 because two coaches talking, so it's not going to be fully me asking her. She will ask few questions to me and I'll also ask a few questions to her. Are you ready, Manju?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do the first question. So I know you came for genetic brain profiling and you did your profile where your capabilities were very high. You had so many smartness that you understood deep within, but you weren't bringing it out, right? After all that understanding, you also had a dilemma like, is it really me? Am I really having all that potential? That question mark, right?
Yeah.
I always knew, like when we said you had word smartness and you always had a question mark in your face telling, is it true? No, I don't think so. I don't talk to people much, but now we should read your poetry. Like it's amazing when you write poems, right? So you tell me, after doing the genetic brain profiling, when you know that I was conducting this NLP and mindfulness course, you wanted to get into it. What made you take the decision?
At that time, personally, I was into a lot of stress. Basically, when you have so much of unused potential, it keeps bottling up inside, and you look out for some way to vent it out. So I was literally in a state of desperation. That is when you told me that this course might be helpful for me. Personally, having known you earlier, I trusted you and I said, okay, let me give it a shot. That is why I joined Inertia that time.
Okay. That's lovely. And what was the change you saw after taking the course?
I would say people say limits exist only in mind, and I realized how true it was when I joined this workshop. There were some practical examples that you gave us on showing the power of mind and how we are capable of telling our mind what we want to do and how we can go about it. That was actually a game changer for me. That is when I decided, okay, I understood. Yes, everyone has problems, but people who focus on their problems, they will not be able to move forward. And I started focusing on my targets. I stopped focusing on my problems. So that game change, that spark was from Inertia.
Okay, that's lovely. I remember you started taking all the challenges in the meaning like to bring out your potential, like that 21 days of writing challenge you took and you wrote your poetry, and you also did that body, mind and soul challenge that we initiated to go about in the morning 4:45. And I know how religiously you were getting up and doing your workout and doing
Yeah.
some artwork and all that, right? That's amazing. So the next question. So after all that, also you came into coaching because people think with little knowledge, people always think I know everything. Let me stop with this. Let me work only with the knowledge that I have so far. But as soon as finishing that, you also said I want to come into your one-on-one coaching. So do you think that also helped you?
Yes, definitely. Like I have told you during the course of that life coaching, my wheel of life was not balanced, and you showed me why it was not balanced because I had my certain own set of values, which I was not incorporating in certain areas in my life, which was why my wheel of life was not balanced. And you showed me how I could balance with that. So it is like the first step. It is always very difficult, and once I started doing it, I learned how I can manage every walks of my life. It helped me a lot, and it was a transformation phase for me.
Right. And I remember every week it used to be on milestone for you because you had that so much of energy as well as the potential inside. It was just opening of it. That one-on-one coaching was something where we just opened the package and the package was inside you. And now we are waiting for that thing to come out. So I really want to know what is your plan for 2021?
This by the end of this month, I am coming up with my first book. It is a collection of 50 romantic poems,
Okay.
and yeah, a couple of poems were written as a part of the 21-day challenge that I took with me.
Okay. That's good.
You will get to see some interesting poems.
Oh, wow. And what have you named your book?
It is titled Love Uncontrolled.
Okay, that's really nice. I know from that control freak mother to this awesome life coach now, happiness coach now, this poetry should be your personal journey as well,
Yes, definitely.
right?
Writing has always been my passion, and it's like a bird set out of the cage. The moment I started writing, it has been flowing continuously.
Okay. So we're expecting many more books from you, and I also remember you writing that novel, and you really need to finish that this year, right?
Yes, I will be. My target is December 12th, my son's birthday.
Okay.
I realized I start working when I set a target date. So I set a target date now. So once this book is out, I'll start working on that as well.
Okay, that's really nice. I'm sure this is going to be a Valentine's Day treat for everybody around the globe because Manju is now into a lot of global open mics for poetry and she's doing so well and getting recognized there. So I really wish you a grand success.
Thank you, Vivi.
Yeah. And what is your mission as a happiness life coach?
As a happiness life coach, I want to spread happiness and smiles on people's faces because all of us have been through that stressful stage. You as well as me, we have come out, and I want to share that happiness. Happiness has a meaning, has a value only when you share it. People usually say I'm stressed. Okay, stress and happiness are both emotions, but we hear people complain of chronic stress and not of chronic happiness because there's some gap lying between us. I want to create awareness of this in people so that they can find their happiness from within themselves.
Okay, that's cool. So that's your mission for being a life coach, right?
Yes.
Happiness life coach. And what is that one knowledge you wish all the people around the globe had? One knowledge you think this is really vital for somebody in life?
Okay. I will answer this with a Tamil poem and then I'll just translate it for your readers and for your viewers. It is நன்னிலைக்கண் தன்னை நிறுப்பானும் தன்னை நிலை கலக்கி கீழிடுவானும் தன் நிலையினும் மேன்மேல் உயர்த்துவானும் தன்னை தலையாக செய்வானும் தான். It means it is the person who is responsible for us to move into a higher stage or downgrading us from a higher stage to a lower stage or making us the best is we ourselves. So I want everyone to understand that whatever position we might be in, whatever mental state we might be in, we are the ones who is responsible for our life and we are the ones who should be acting on it. That is the message I have for people.
Right, you are responsible for your own happiness and whatever is in your life, right? I'm really happy because I also feel that this is one knowledge that people need to have because blame game does not work. Blame game only like it is a waste of time where you keep blaming people and suddenly you become old and you can't do anything. Again, you start blaming time and everything, and then this lifetime is gone. And it's so short if you see. If you start living your life, you really want to live life and you feel that there's not enough time, right? Great, Manju. This is the questions that I had, and I'm so proud of you. I should be telling, because from that steadfast mom to being a very friendly mom and being that enthusiastic, happy person now you are, I'm sure you will touch many more lives, and I'm super proud of you. Keep shining bright as always.
Thank you, Divya.
Yes. Now I'm ready for your questions.
Okay, my first question is, there's always this game-changing point in everyone's life, and so what was that trigger that actually influenced you into becoming a life coach?
Okay. So you know me as a genetic brain profiling counselor, right? So I have a lot of people coming to me to get their assessment done on what is their potential, how best they can perform in life. I have children, 2 grown-ups coming into my office to do the GBP. And I see a lot of people like maybe in their mid 35 to 50, 55 years old. When I tell them they have huge potential, they give me a blank look, because it's all deep within and they're not able to even understand they have so much of potential. And some people give me a look where they really want to do, but they're clueless. They don't know how they can use the potential they have, right? So in this 5 years of being a genetic brain profiling counselor, I've seen so many of the expressions in people where, yes, you tell me that I have a potential, but how do I use it? Because they've even forgotten how to use it in this monotonous life they're having, right? That's when I had this idea that I have to help people bring out the potential. That's where I named myself to be the limitless you. Because for me too, after genetic brain profiling, I was able to understand my potential. And after I went into that learning aspect from NLP, mindfulness, I was able to establish myself as a person, as a happy person. So that's where I wanted to, after seeing a lot of people, then I thought it's time that I work on the methodologies to bring out that potential from people.
Okay. What is one thing that you would like to be known for in your life?
I would always be known for to be a happy person and spreading happiness.
That's a wonderful answer, because not everyone tells that. I'm glad to hear that. I have this question which is more professional oriented. See, when people conduct workshops, they take a topic and then they get in all stuff related to that particular workshop. Right. But your inertia workshop was very diverse. It is like you had different aspects put into it. So I want to understand how you come up with contents for your workshop.
Okay, that's a really nice question, because after this lockdown had happened, everybody started bringing in programs, and sometimes it's so boring because you Google and the top 3 things that you find in Google is what the facilitator is doing in the program. And it's so boring because if somebody wants to know about it, they themselves can go and Google. So my USP is I don't bring in anything that I have not experienced in life. Okay. So I will not tell any, if I haven't walked that path, I don't tell it to people. So even if I like a concept, I work on the concept at least for 30 days. Only after I see what changes it's bringing inside me, I tell it to people.
Okay.
Yeah, so you would have seen in inertia, I never ask people to wake up by 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've read the 5 a.m. book. I have been working on myself to wake up early, which I am not able to. That's why after the program, like-minded people like us started waking up by 5:40, 45, and you guys are still doing it and I am not able to. So till I come to a point where I realize that waking up early in the morning is helping me, I will not tell anybody to do it. So it's like that. So whatever you see in the program is all the nitty-gritties of whatever helped me as a person, and I've put it together.
Okay, that is really interesting. Because sometimes people say, they usually say, what you do not follow, do not preach others. But not everyone does it. Actions are different and their words are different. But I'm glad that you have put into things that you are following personally and you've seen the results of it. That is why you're able to speak up for your programs.
Right.
Okay. So, what was your childhood ambition, Divya? I mean, how far or near from your ambition are you? Because, see, basically, I had different types, so different kinds of ambitions as a child. I was from a teacher to a doctor to a scientist to an Air Force pilot as well. But okay, whatever I'm doing right now is completely different.
Okay.
I would like to know what your childhood ambition was and how near or far from it are you right now.
Okay, I'm no different from you in all these ambitions, and most of the people watching this live now will also agree that most of us wanted to be a doctor, like you said, 4-5 things. I also wanted to be, first I wanted to be a doctor, and then I wanted to be that IAS or IPS officer. I was a very good athlete in school, so I'm tall as well. So my mom, and also was intelligent. I was not very intelligent with marks, but whatever is happening around the current affairs and all that, I was very good in. So my mom was always telling me I could be a good IPS officer. So I wanted to be an IPS officer, and remember there was one movie with this female lead being a IPS officer, Vyjayanti IPS something.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
That movie used to be my inspiration, and I always thought I was like that powerful place I will get into and fight with people and all that. That didn't happen. And doctor, I always used to scribble Dr. Divya, and that didn't happen. Maybe sometimes if I do my PhD, I can do my doctor in front. Okay. And then I wanted to be an air hostess at one point, but then I got married when I was 19. So everything took a turn, and I was into being a homemaker.
Okay.
But if I see now as a life coach, throughout the life, I always wanted to be in a position where I was influential.
Okay.
I was able to influence people in a positive way, right?
Okay.
Even if it's being a doctor or if it was being a IPS officer, everywhere I wanted to bring that positive change in the society. So I've never told that I wanted to be rich, I wanted to be this, but I always felt I wanted to be some important person creating a change. So with that, if I see, I'm really close to it. Even if I'm creating a small ripple, still I feel happy I'm creating that ripple.
I know you're creating waves. I know that personally because I've been through your sessions and I know that.
Yes, we will do wonders. See, now I'm really glad with this ripple, there's another ripple that's formed in the form of Manju, and you're going to spread happiness, and that's how the whole world can become a happy place.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if there is something that you would like to change from your past, what would that be, Divya?
From my past, now I would say whatever happened in my past was my blessing, but I did have a phase in my life that was too stressful. For 7 years, I was a homemaker, and I always used to crib inside me that I was not doing enough. I wasn't enough. Only cleaning the vessels and cleaning the house is not my job. And I kept telling a lot of negative things to myself that I'm not worth enough. And that literally started killing me. I was put in a place where I was bedridden. I was not able to do anything at all. So if I could change something, I would have changed the mindset of that person and should have understood that that was a cocoon period in my life. That was a cocoon period where I was building myself up. It was not a waste of time. So whoever I am today, if that 7 years period did not happen in my life, I would not be this strong.
Okay.
Right? So I wish I was so positive at that point.
I can resonate with you on that because I've been through that phase, as you know as well. I was freelancing from my home and I was also a homemaker. But yes, that is a really stressful state. And you know, I was again into that negative circle that you are telling of right now. And it was you who identified that and told me. So that is when I identified, okay, this is the reason for my problems. So I'll start changing that. That is how I worked on it.
Yes.
Okay. So who is your inspiration? Who do you look up to in your professional life and your personal life?
As your ambition also, your inspiration also keeps changing from the time when you're small. I told you when I was in that school time, this movie and this actress in that movie was an inspiration that I wanted to be an IPS officer, right? And it keeps evolving now and then. Now for me, the inspiration is just to be happy, just to be connected with my own self. So I will always take myself as an inspiration these days, because I have done the best in my days, and some days when I have the worst days, everybody have the worst days, right? So initially I used to crib that, see, today I'm not able to do this, do that. But when I am in my low, I always take inspiration from my highs. So I always keep reminding myself that I have done so well whenever I was in my peak of my health or peak of whatever it is, when I was in that flow state. When I'm in my flow state, I'm able to perform well. So I've stopped cribbing and I've started looking upon myself, wonderful potential you have. So why take others as inspiration? Now take yourself as an inspiration. I know it sounds a little narcissistic, but then that's okay.
No, it is actually, I guess, I feel it is actually good, You realize that you have an ocean of potential in yourself. And yes, you don't have to look up to others in that case, obviously.
Exactly. Just bringing out that potential little by little outside is such a beautiful game, like exploring. These days I've started making reels, and the fun behind making all that, because it's scary. These days, whatever is scary has become fun for me. So people see my posters, people see my videos and think it's all so easy for me. But I think one day I have to do this behind the scene video where I get jittery too, and then I always keep saying, no, here my face is not looking good, this is not looking good. But then that is part of growing, coming out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Right. And today I'm very proud of you, because you're facing the camera with so much of comfortable look, and this conversation itself is a testimony of who you have become, Manju.
Yeah, I know. I seriously found it very, very difficult to face the camera. And how the first time you took me on your, what was that session we had? One open mic session we had, right?
Right.
Yeah. I found it very difficult to face the camera. And yeah, it has been a stage of evolution for me.
Exactly. So now you're able to take yourself so cool. This conversation is going in the flow state, right?
I know, yeah.
So as we say in NLP, the more you do, the more you want to do it. The less you do, the less you want to do it.
Exactly.
Right.
So it was very good listening to your answers, because these are some questions that I've always wanted to ask you. But somehow I never found the right time to discuss these things with you. I'm glad I joined you in this session.
Yes, I'm glad we did, and we'll keep doing more of this kind of sessions, so that more people who want to express themselves find that, okay, Manju and Divya are no way different from us. Everybody has their own inhibitions, and everybody has that journey towards growth.
Yes.
And we really need to be patient upon ourselves, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Manju, and I'm really waiting to read your book.
Yeah, I'll definitely notify you when it is out.
Sure. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Divya. Bye-bye.
Bye.